KME, and today we've got a Husqvarna 701 in. We're going to do a tower mount on it and some other alterations, and Sam has just brought the bike in. We'll have a talk to Sam later, but there it is. We'll start from here. We've got the seat off already. We'll start from here and pull off the fuel tank and start setting up we'll remove the headlight, and we'll start setting up the mount for it, the tower for it. So I've got the seat off, and we've got to disconnect the battery. Have to remove the ECU. Then there's this plate here which has two bolts down there, which are an 8mm head, which is probably a 10mm thread. Slide that bracket forward, that gives you access to the battery. We're removing the flarings for around the fuel tank. Down here there's actually two, they're on the floor over there. There's two sections that fit in here, and as you see, with a bolt down here, there was a bolt in here, here and here, likewise the other side. Once you have those removed, come around here. We've obviously taken out these positions here. There's a couple of positions here, one which is very obviously there. Come up here, remove the filler cap neck. There's three stainless steel bolts holding them in position, which allows you, in here there's two little, I'll just get that. So this is the ignition cover, the ignition's key entry ignition cover. That basically clips in, but to get it out, there's 2 points in here. There they are there. You get a screwdriver, clip it into those 2 points, deflect that tang there. Then it's just a matter of a push in. See the two push in tabs there, and they push into those two plastic or rubber positions there. Okay, so we've removed the headlight. As you can see, there's a bolt position on both sides. Once again, the same, it's an 8mm hex, but it has a Torx centre to it. Then underneath, you can see in there, there's another little bolt in there. Actually, I probably didn't need to remove that, but I did. Anyway, that's off. And there's two positions to locating tags there, and they drop down into the top of that mudguard there. When you get to this point, you have the headstock is behind here, and this whole plastic unit here which carries all the wiring and so on. Now we've cut all the cable ties, but we have put a tag on each piece of wire and just numbered them so they can use numbers or letters, whatever you like. So when we're going back together again, you'll be able to find your relevant piece of wire and make sure you plug it into the right place. Now most vehicles have unique plugs. Like this plug can't plug into that one for argument's sake. But if you don't know that, do it this way. Okay, so we've actually got that plastic mount off that holds the speedo and has the indicators there. As you can see, what I have done is this section down here, I put a cut through there, and that allowed me to get all of these cables out, which is part of the brake system, so rather than have to get cut into the brake system. The other thing I did was, because we're not going to use this section again, this piece is not going to get used, I used a hot knife method where I have cut that part through there just by using a blade which I heated up. Then you just run it into there. It's the safest way. You don't have to put anything in here to try and cut. So that allowed me to get all of this nest of wires here out through that section there. So now we don't need that bit anymore, just as well. So we're now to the position where we've got to remove the ignition switch, which is here. there's a bolt in the side of the fuel tank mount, one there, one there. It's 2 bolts, not one. It's not a through bolt, it's 2 singular bolts. So we've undone that. The tank now we'll be able to pull it backwards now. We've had to remove the fuel cap and mount system for the fuel cap off the tank. When you're doing a job like this, you've got to move that out of the way. Clean the area here, clean it before you actually get too far down the track, because you don't want any dirt that will be laying on this section to fall into your tank. But then clean the tank, then tape the tank up like that, because it'll keep dirt out, it'll keep nuts from falling in there and all of that sort of thing. We now know nothing's going to go into that tank, where if you don't do that and you think you don't have a part later or whatever, a nut or a bolt, well, you're guessing that it's gone into the fuel tank. Anyway, that's the next bit we're up to. Okay, we're up to the section where we're fitting. We've actually put part of the mount on, which is here, which has a U-bolt around the back, it is so simple to do. It just slides around, and it's not a problem. The 2 nuts on that, and that's fixed. Not an issue. The issue you're going to have is the bolts. You have to take the fuel tank off and move it backwards. We found we haven't actually removed the fuel tank totally, which saves us a lot of time. Down in here is this part here. So that's a part supplied in the kit, and then this bolt is the bolt that's supplied, and that is gone into screwdriver there. That actually is down in there. Okay, now that is really hard to get to. What you'll need is a Torx bit. It's a number 30 Torx bit, and I'll just show you what I have used to do it with. So this is what I have used. It's a number 30 Torx bit there on a quarter drive, and the socket bar, quarter drive bar I'm using, has got the wobble head on it, which is, if you can see it, get it in better light. There it is there. That allows you to put the Torx bit on, and allows you to drive it sideways like that. And that's about the only way you'll get onto that bolt and do it up. We've just done it now. We've done the harder side first, which happens to be the side with the wiring on it, where the wiring is in underneath here. There it is there. I've disconnected one wire, which I'll plug that back in now. There's the end of the tab that's going to hold the new head on, tower on. There's the end of the tab there, and the bolt itself is in there. It can be done. Good luck. There is the mounts fitted, which fit through the ignition barrel. There it is there, and the mount comes around, and there's the 2 of them at the front and other side, double nutted and Loctite. So don't forget to put your wiring through before you put your tower on. So we're a bit further along now, just refitting the fuel tank, which will give us the location of the new side fairings. Tower is in position, and Sam's got the low beam headlight affixed to it. There we see the tower, looking pretty good. When you're doing this, there's always a lot of be very careful with the wiring, as into getting it back into position here, getting it refitted, located through the sides of the plates here. So looking like we're starting to go back the other way, as in closer to being finished. So now there's the dashboard together, and the original Speedo instrument cluster is here. It is wired in and fitted. basically wired in. It's just really plugged back into the circuitry that was there. Right now we are setting up, this is the original supply to the headlights, which is earth, low beam and high beam. So we were going to now, I'll go through and just, brown is actually earth on this, and these two are the high and low beams. This is actually feeding in a USB plug as well off the low beam circuit. I didn't do that, that was already in there. So what we're going to do is fit that off. As soon as that's done, really all the work has been done to fit it. It'll just, the dash panel goes in the top in here, the windscreen goes on the top of it, and that'll be about the lot of it. So we've actually had power on, and the bike cranks and so on. So we're on the home straight. Well, there we have the finished product. A lot of work, and it's not a quick, easy job. So if you've got, you need a fair bit of mechanical knowledge to do it. Don't let anybody tell you that you'll just be able to get in there and muddle your way through, because really you won't. But it definitely looks good. Everything's mounted and so on, looking the part. And I think the finished job looks good. The parts that we didn't find in the kit, of the hardware in the kit, was there's a spacer in here and a longer bolt that were not provided. Likewise on the other side, so we've actually machined them up because we have machinery here in this shop. A lot of bits and pieces we've improvised. We've had to put our own nuts and bolts in. And here you'll see it's a 6mm bolt, but it's an unbreako bolt. The cap head bolt that I've provided, because the ones they provided actually hit this bolt inside the little bit of rod in there, and therefore locked that bolt up, and you couldn't do that bolt up. So there's two little things. But I mean, it's a good product. It looks good. The lights look good. They're all wired in now. So overall, I think it's a great job. But if you intend doing this yourself, make sure, I hope that you've got enough mechanical ability, or get someone with you.
Hey guys, my name's Sam, this is my bike, and yeah, I chose the Nomad Tower just because yeah, I like the technology behind it and how it was all finished. I mean, there's a lot of towers out there on the market, but I guess for this one, you know, the service from Nomad was really great, but I was actually really happy with, like, you know, the finishing and like the design of it and everything seemed really good. So so I went ahead with this one. Steve's been really helpful today, helping me sort of, you know, get this done, because I couldn't have done this myself. Well, maybe I could have, but it probably would have taken me a couple of weeks, and you know, we got. But look, why someone would want one of these? Well, you get all the wind protection, which is great. You get your instruments away from, you know, your handlebars, lifts them up a little bit and gets them more into that line of sight, which I found, you know, a bit of a necessity on the freeway and stuff like that. You don't have to take, you know, look so far down for to see all your instruments. And you know, you can have all your you know, accessory power and stuff, so you can have, you know, USB and all, you know, all kinds of other accessories powered out of this thing here. So yeah, and the headlights as well, because the stock headlights are pretty lame, and so the Baja designs, the squadron lights are yeah, they're really good. Like, we just gave them a run out the front, and yeah, very happy with them. So job done, and can't wait to get on the bike and get out there.